Hi, friends. It's Brittany Valadez here for BravelyDaily.com. Well, there is a new film coming out called 5,000 Blankets, and I am chatting with the real life woman who the story is, part of the story is based on, and also the director. But before we get into that, make sure you are, of course, subscribed to me here on social media, YouTube, and don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and share it with all your friends. And of course, subscribe, like I said, and also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be notified each time that I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media. I will put my social media in the description box below. All right, let's get started. For those of us who haven't seen the film yet, tell us what happened. Just give us a little quick summary of the film and in your life, which is your real life.
Well, just like so many American families, my family struggled with mental illness. My husband struggled with paranoid schizophrenia, and he would often disappear. And Philip and I, my son, would go looking for him on the downtown streets of Fort Worth because he worked there. He was a construction engineer, extremely intelligent man. And the homeless district was 2 blocks away from where he was working. And so Philip and I started driving through the homeless district, and he and I had never seen such because it's kind of pushed back a little bit. And Philip, it was basically Philip that started this mission, and it's called Philip's Wish, and it was his wish to warm up all these people. Because he asked me a question as I was taking him into bed one night after being downtown all day looking for his father. And we got home, and I was taking him to bed, and he asked me a simple question. He said, "Mommy, are you warm?" And I kind of thought that was kind of strange, but I said, "Yeah, I'm warm." And then he said, "Well, do you think my daddy's warm?" And didn't quite know how to answer that. I just said, "I hope so, honey." And he goes, "Well, what about all those other people, Mommy?" And I said, "Those other people?" He said, "Yeah, all those other people that are living on the streets in those tents and those boxes laying on the ground, Mommy. Are they warm?" And I basically told him the truth. No, they're not warm, baby. And so he said, "Well, we need to get blankets, lots and lots of blankets so we can warm them all up." And the kid just didn't stop. He didn't stop. And we were going through a really tough time. I didn't have money to go buy blankets, it's just I didn't have it. And he brought me his piggy bank, and there was $7.20 in it. And he just didn't stop. So he just kept pushing me and pushing me, and then I heard that little whisper from God, "Okay, you better get moving, girl." So I typed up a letter, and it told the whole story about our journey. And I stood downtown on the streets of Fort Worth. This was in the evening. And everybody that walked by, I stuck it in their hand. I said, "Take this, take this, take this, take this, take this, take this." I know that they thought I was nuts because I didn't go into any kind of explanation or anything. I was very, very shy at the time. And I got a call from a reporter from Fort Worth. He said, "Hey, I got your letter. You handed it to me. Would you and Philip like to do a segment on our TV show?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So Philip and I got up it was an early morning show. And so we did a segment there, and a screenwriter saw it, and he called me, and he said, "Hey, I saw a segment on, such and such show, and I'd like to write a screenplay. Would you be interested?" I didn't really think much about it. I'm like, "Sure, why not? I mean, no big deal." And he called me the next day, and he said, "Can we meet for coffee?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I met him for coffee, and he said, "I'm going to write this screenplay." And he did. And the rest is history.
Wow, that's an amazing story. And it all started from just, I think a lot of times God uses us at our lowest to help us get through other things. And then now your story is helping impact the world, especially with what you've experienced. Now in the film, we see how your husband kind of disappeared. Was that, and then that caused you guys to, want to get the blankets and help the homeless. Was that the first time he had disappeared, or was that something that he had done before?
he had done it before, but it didn't last for that period of time. He would disappear for a day, and I didn't get the grasp of it at first. I thought, well, he works late, he's still on the job site. I didn't really think much about it because he's a construction engineer. That's what they do. They'll stay, in their little whatever the little buildings on the site. But then it started to turn into, he's gone. Where is he? And that's what started the search. And then, I went to the police. I went everywhere, and I couldn't get any help from anyone. It was awful. And so we searched and searched and searched and searched, and
It's like one of those situations where you kind of had to take matters into your own hands. Like, you're going to care most about your situation, it's going to be you versus anyone else.
oh yeah, that most definitely. We ended up losing our house. It went into foreclosure, and we lost our house, and both cars were repossessed. So my mother ended up buying me a car. I think it was like $2,000 car. I don't remember. It was so far back. And I moved in with her for a while. Philip and I moved in with her for a while until we got on our feet. I was working 2 jobs and going to real estate school at night. And I didn't want to be a realtor, but I thought it would be quick money. If I could sell one house, we could get our own place, But when I went to the office to meet with Mike Bowman from Century 21, they interview you, and I just looked at him. I don't know what came over me. I just looked at him and I said, Mike, I'm so sorry to waste your time, but I don't want to be a realtor. He says, what do you want to do? And I told him about Philip's Wish. And he was the first person to jump on board to be a sponsor. And he called every home builder, every mortgage company. And yeah, we got our first 5,000 blankets that year.
Wow. And now during all this time, as you're experiencing, the loss of your home and then losing your cars and everything, did you ever, I'm pretty sure you did, but what was going through your mind about with God? Were you questioning God? Like, do you exist, or do you even care about me?
And I never lost faith. That's one thing I always had. That's all. One thing I carried in me. I was given a book by a lady when I was going through what I was going through, which was very tragic. And it was called The Purpose Driven Life. And I read it from cover to cover. And I can't tell you how many times. And it was God talking to me, telling me, you have purpose, and this is your purpose. And so Philip's Wish was born, and I've been living it for the last 20 years. I've been living this beautiful purpose for the last 20 years.
How is your family today, your husband and your son?
My husband still suffers from mental illness. We won't go into much more of that. My son is amazing. He still has that sweet, compassionate heart that he's always had. He's never changed. He's very, very involved with the nonprofit. He's fixing to get married actually next year, 2024. He's marrying a nurse. He's in the dental field, and he does Philip's Wish.
I think a lot of people will be able to relate, especially like you said, people know someone, at least one person with mental illness, so they can understand that aspect. And then they can understand the other part of, losing things that are so close to them. And also wondering, am I going to be okay at any moment of what's going on?
One thing Philip always said, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. He always said that, it's going to be okay. When that was like his line, it's going to be okay. And of course, I didn't let him see me at my weakest points. I never showed that. Never. So he didn't get, there was no sobbing and crying and none of that. It was like, we're on a mission. This is what we're going to do. He was so excited. His birthday's on Christmas Eve. So every Christmas Eve, that's his big birthday present to the world. We don't give out gifts to each other. It's his gift to the world.
It's like a faith of a child, and it's encouraging for people who maybe could doubt or question or like, God, where are you? But when they see someone, they see your story and they see people who the worst circumstances, but yet continue to have faith in God, it can encourage them to reignite their faith if they feel like they outleft it. Now, you say that you a screenwriter approached you about creating the film. And I know we have the director of the wonderful film here on the chat with us. And correct me if I'm saying your name wrong. Is it Amin? Did I say it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, praise
Yeah.
God. I'm
Good
like,
job.
okay, great. So how did you get involved with this project?
The producer Doug Schaefer and I had gone to AFI, the American Film Institute, together years back, and he had been developing. I don't know how the script ended up in his hands, but he had been developing it with Sony for eight years or so, and they had optioned it at another company, and then Sony got word of it, and it's kind of. I came late into the game. By the time I got involved, I read Matt Antonelli's screenplay, which was based on Larry Pastel's original screenplay that was the interview that he had when he saw the TV interview. So I came in. I actually never read Larry's original script. By the time I got involved, it was pretty close to going into production, and they said we need a director. We're getting ready to go make this movie. We started doing the casting process, and I read the script. It was a page turner. Every page was like a story of human struggle, and it was universal. And so my involvement was pretty last minute, not last minute, but like it was like in the grand scheme of things pretty close to when we were getting ready to shoot. And then we cast Anna Camp, who was wonderful in the role of Cindy. She was just great to work with. We had Rob Mays playing her husband Bobby, and Carson Minier, who's Philip. And when Carson did his audition, I was like blown away by it, and little did I know he would actually resemble the real Philip if you look at their pictures, and I had no idea what they looked like in real life. So and then when we went into production, it was pretty smooth. It flowed very smoothly, very fast shoot, 1 month prep, 17 days to shoot, which is crazy by movie standards. No room for error, and somehow it felt like there was some kind of divine guiding hand putting it all together, and we were just like serving the story and telling Cindy's inspiring story of this unsung hero who now we get to sing your song, Cindy.
It's not my song, it's God's song.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what was it like? Either one of you guys can answer this. When maybe Cindy, I'm not sure. Cindy, when you met with Anna, and then I mean, as you knew Cindy, you met Cindy. What was it about
Yeah.
Anna's role, Anna's portrayal of Cindy that was like, okay, this is the person for the role, other than just being a good actress?
I didn't know Cindy, so I only met Cindy while we were in production. So she came to the set, but the first time we met, there was this instant, like, we really connected. We really understood that we wanted to make the same kind of movie that's not preachy, that's respectful to the audience, doesn't get heavy-handed in its like messaging. It's just honest to the character's journey. And one of the first things that Anna said when we met was, I don't want to do too much makeup. I want her to be jeans, down to earth. Like, that's how her interpretation of the character was. And instantly she's just got it. She had a great sense of humor about her too, which, the humanity and the kindness, there's a level of kindness that you can't fake, and I think it really comes across on screen, this genuine empathy and kindness and humanism. She's just a good person, and it was wonderful working with her. And then when we met the real Cindy, I actually spontaneously grabbed my phone when we heard that Cindy was on the set. We had finished shooting a scene, and Anna was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go meet her. I'm like, wait, hold on, I'm gonna grab my phone. So I put on the wide lens and just ran after her and filmed it, following her, and we captured it in a way. I was like, so last minute, impromptu, And then we put it in the end credits in the movie. It was like a really nice moment to have. And there's like God's shining light with a flare in the lens. It was just, it was a
Seriously, it's
beautiful
like
moment that encapsulated the experience of making this movie.
the whole when I was on set, I was really nervous, you know, because you're dealing with Hollywood, and I thought these people were going to be really snobbish and just I just felt like I was going to feel really inadequate, and I didn't. It was like the whole cast just wrapped their arms around me with this unconditional love, and it was just like I mean, from every actor to the to the producer, to the writers, to the people with the cameras, they were just all so very, very genuine and just so kind. You could tell that God was all over that project. You could tell. And Anna was just as sweet as Anna is. And Carson is just the cutest little guy and so smart. And Rob, I could go on and on about the actors. Delia, Cindy Hogan, who plays Delia. That
Cindy
I have to
Hogan,
say,
yeah, she was amazing.
yeah, Cindy Hogan, she's amazing. Kim Myers is amazing. Spencer Durrell
There
is
was
amazing.
also a lot of giggling on the set. Anna's giggle
Yeah,
is like very
yeah.
contagious.
I have to say my favorite scene was when Anna and Delia meet. It was just so it was that moment was my moment, if that makes sense at all.
Yeah, it's my favorite scene in the movie, and it's so simple. There's no fancy camera work in that scene. It's just two people sitting at a table talking, and it's so wonderful. With two takes, we did one take on Cindy, one take on Anna, and one take on. Well, we did a couple takes just to try something a little bit different, but on each side, just to. But there was, my job was easy. It's just like hire the right people, and they take it from there. You know.
All right, friends, that was a heartwarming interview for sure. And I love those kind. I love films based on real life stories, and I love film of redemption and seeing where the Lord works, because he does work in our lives, even especially when we least expect it. As always, of course, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be notified each time I upload a new video. Don't forget to follow me on social media. I will put all of that in the description box below. Until next time, I'm Brittany Valadez for BraveTheDaily.com. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.